And welcome back to America's Hope. So we're still talking about the 11-year-old girl who had a wonderful, noble aspiration, and that is to launch a faith club, an interfaith club, to welcome all members of her school to this particular club so they could pray together, grow together, understand each other's faith together. And really that's notable because she was thinking about how to improve and help the school community. And what better way to do that than through faith and finding some common ground for the common good? Well, here to weigh in on that issue is Alex MacFarland. He is the host of the Alex MacFarland Show, and you can also check him out at alexmacfarland.com. Alex, thank you for joining us on the program. You were also someone who provides analysis of the culture. And right now, this particular case seems to underscore the fact that we have a clash in America, a clash between faith and culture. Because at that same school, the Creekside Elementary School in the state of Washington, the principal allowed a pride group, which is satisfying the needs or the desires of the LGBTQ community. And then she's also allowed some other groups, but has actually denied this young fifth grader for having a faith-based group. So talk to me, what's going on here?
Well, Kelly, thanks for having me on. It's always a privilege to speak with you. One of the biggest offenders at undermining the constitutionally protected rights of young people are public school administrators. And the 1984 Equal Access Act, among many other legal precedents, establish that an elementary schooler, middle schooler, high schooler, college student does not lose their constitutionally protected First Amendment rights when they step on a campus. If a public school allows any extracurricular clubs, chess club, drama club, pride club, they cannot legally restrict Christians or any faith group from having a faith-based spiritual club. So this administrator is very much out of order in denying this little girl her rights to start a faith club.
I have to ask you, because you're also someone who talks at churches, schools, and even higher education. Has America gotten away from a whole person concept in education, mind, body, and spirit?
Kelly, that is a profound question. It's a great question. And I would say in secular education, they have. The Bible is the best psychology book in the world because it accurately understands the nature of what it means to be a human. First Thessalonians 5:23 and 24 talk about body, soul, and spirit, sarx, psyche, and pneuma, and really a truly holistic approach to learning and life and education takes into consideration all of these things. And, even the atheist Richard Dawkins over in England admits that our suppression of moral and spiritual content has opened the door for all sorts of violence, Sharia, Islam, or terrorism, I should say more properly. And so, I would say parents have a real decision to make about what type of either education or indoctrination they want their children to be under.
Well, you're right about that, and we don't know what conclusion this particular situation will have at this Creekside Elementary School. But you touched on something that wants me to expound on and broaden and deepen our conversation about what's happening in schools all across America, particularly higher education. So as we leave that shell for a moment, that fifth grader who's trying to do something good and yet being denied for whatever reason, the school district has decided to do that. Let's really get into another discussion about what's happening on our college campuses, particularly what happened in the wake of the October 7th Hamas attack, which is a radical Islamic terror group that really unleashed a surprise attack on Israel. The results of that, though, really shocked the senses of so many Jewish people in America and even in Israel when America, their strongest ally, saw college campuses erupting into pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas demonstrations on college campuses, and even exacting some hostilities towards Jewish students.
Well, Kelly, thank you for addressing this. For decades, we've heard that racism is wrong, and it is. And we should live in a culture where there is no place whatsoever for racism. Every human being, every ethnic group is precious in the eyes of God. Every ethnicity has constitutionally protected rights. And let me say about the state of Israel, throughout history, Kelly, as you know, nations have had the right to self-defense. So every college president in the nation and administrators and professors need to say to their students, we will not tolerate racism, and that includes we will not tolerate anti-Semitism. The people of Shem, the Hebrews, the Israelites, the Jewish people, they are an ethnicity, and it's almost like the one racism that gets a pass anymore is hatred of Jews. And so all of this, death to Israel from the river to the sea, Gaza would be free. We need to say, look, this is Jew hatred, and it is not acceptable.
You know, Alex, you put it like that, and a lot of people would who understand what you're talking about would say kudos and thank you for having the courage to say that and the temerity to actually put that forth. Yet, as you understand it, there is a level of misinformation out there, and there's a great divide that we've seen in our country along lines of faith, and it's actually permeated into our school, our halls of academia, where professors are teaching hate, and it would seem some are getting away with it, with this kind of talk that's going out there. Bear with me. So we look at this fifth grade student who's saying to her school, let's bring all the faiths together, interfaith, to have a discussion about faith and even pray together. So arguably that would be ecumenical, which I know some evangelicals, they don't really like that word, but you see where
it
I'm
can be a
going
good
with
word.
this. If you start there and you're talking about faith as a fifth grader, and you keep talking about all the different faiths so that you can, one, find common ground to respect each other, as opposed to teaching school children how to hate each other, as we know takes place in madrasas, the radical Islam, and now Hamas even teaches students as young as 5 to hate Jews, hate Christians. We got a problem. And the problem is happening here at home. Hi, everybody. I hope you're enjoying this episode so far of America's Hope. If you'd like to see it in its entirety, just click on the link below. Thanks for watching.